What's going on, everybody? Guess who's back with another episode of the Joel Fernandez Show? Well, actually, this is not going to be a Joel Fernandez show, but I just wanted to make a video checking in with you guys because I'm back and I'm going to be making more videos on this channel. And a lot of people have questioned me saying, I hope you're okay, if everything's good. And guys, let me tell you, things are good. Things are changed. Things are almost completely different than they used to be before. Sometimes I look around and I can't even believe how my life has just transformed when I put some of these principles into practice. If you've watched my videos previously, you know that I was into some of these techniques from way back, but I wasn't really doing them seriously. I would just do them on the side or doing them a little bit at a time, little bit here, little bit there. And then I realized that they really do work. And I realized that this is the answer for all of our problems. Sometimes we struggle and we try to make things overcomplicated, but really the solution is so much easier than that. And when you do that, things just fall into place. It actually changes you from the inside out rather than trying to move the chess pieces on the outside and trying to line things up, people up, circumstances up, situations up. Man, I quit doing that long ago, and I realized that once I get my inner being right and I get my focus in the right direction, things just automatically work out, and I do the right things at the right time instead of trying to do the right things at the right time and then sometimes just making a fool of myself.
You are a buffoon.
You know, and there are times when it looks like things aren't working out and you're like caught in the wrong lane. That's what it seems like sometimes, and it happened to me. And I used this analogy before on this channel because it's like you're waiting in the exit ramp to get onto the highway, right? And the light's red and it's been red for quite a while, and you're just looking at cars going by you and they're using the other road to move forward. And you think to yourself, hey, maybe if I wasn't stuck at this light, maybe if I just go in that other lane, I'd be moving forward and I'd be getting to my destination. I'd be making progress. But you know what? They're not going the same speed as it is on the highway or the freeway or whatever you want to call it. But if you're looking at that and you're trying to get to the next level, you're actually going to get your gears grinding in the wrong way, where you're actually going to create the situation for yourself where you actually hinder yourself. And that's what I want to talk about, because once we get in the flow and we realize that there are these ups and downs, then we can actually use that to our advantage. Take the time to grow, take the time to recuperate, and then take the time to take off and move forward like never before. If you watch my previous video where I manifested my girlfriend, it was like that because before I would always try and line things up and I would try to be at the right place or say the right thing, and you never know how the other person's going to react, right? Well, once I put this thing into practice, man, things just lined up, and it was like boom, boom, boom. All the dominoes were lined up. Everything fell into place, and it's been a transformative last couple years. I've really delved into building myself, building my relationships, building my abundance. That's another thing I really want to get into in the future of this channel. And all of these things, man. I remember I was making videos before about manifesting a specific person. That's one of the first things that people really get into this for, is because they realize that they can't really change circumstances around them at that level. But when you start influencing the causal realm, things really fall into place. And that's where I am today. I've learned another language. Actually, I've learned 2 languages since then. And things are really, really growing, really blossoming, really taking off. And I just wanted to share that because it's transformative. And it will change your life just like it changed mine. You know, once we start looking inward and actually seeing these things and the rhythm of our own lives and the cycles that we go through, we're able to read it and actually work with it. It's all started to me in 2012 when I realized the calendar was a manipulated form of control. And I realized that we have to work by the actual flow of nature that is in the world around us. The world goes through this cycle all the time. And everything around us is constantly doing it, from every day to every month to every year. Every single cycle that in history repeats itself. You know, people say that history repeats itself. It's true. There's a waxing and a waning. There's a saying in history that bad times create strong people, and strong people create good times, and good times create weak people, and weak people create bad times, and the cycle just continues. And that's the same four pulse movement of the universe, of the sun, of the moon, of everything, of your own inner cycle. Everything follows this pattern. And once I learned that, I was able to work with it, work with raising the oil inside of me, and actually bringing this whole thing into fruition started with that. And a lot of things that I was getting into, even in the last couple of years, I realized once I stopped looking to them for answers, because it started out okay, but I realized that they weren't following through with their promises. And that's okay, because you learn, you grow, and you move on. And when you move on, you realize that all of that was there to grow you. But if you're bitter and you fall into depression and you bring yourself down, which I could have done because I invested so much of my volunteer work with these people, I could have brought myself down for that. But I realized, oh, there was a cycle there. Now I have to come back, and I'm going to come back around, and this whole circle is going to close itself. And it did. And I'm doing so many more things now than I was back then. When I left doing all that volunteer work, all the video editing I was doing for them, all the campaigning and all that stuff, when I left all of that, and actually it wasn't all my conscious decision, it was the cycle. The cycle actually closed itself, and these doors closed on their own. Unfortunately, there was a fallout with some people there, and it was looking ugly. But when I stopped to think about it and I realized that the cycle just continues, I realized that I just had to look for the next step. And it was open, manifestly open, almost instantly. I got a job as the lead designer in a print shop, and I'm doing their work like I'm doing work that I used to do in my own shop, but I was struggling. Now I'm not struggling anymore. I'm actually training people. I'm actually building a team. I'm actually bringing value to the world. And that's what I want to do to this channel. In its own way, I want to bring this value of manifesting, of bringing yourself to your best capabilities, of actually manifesting Earth 2.0 in our day and age, in our lifetimes, because that's what we deserve. I want to bring that to everybody, and I want to share that with you. So I'm going to be publishing the calendar. A lot of you guys have been asking me about this calendar. I'm going to be publishing the New Year's calendar in about a week's time. I still have to do a little bit of work on it, but it's going to be ready, and it's going to be up for upload. I'm going to have the links in this channel, so look out for that, because you really don't want to miss it. I'm going to have PDFs, and I'm going to have all of that. You guys, I really want to come back, and I really want to do more creative things with you. I want to bring back the Joel Fernandez show, but in a new and improved way. And I want you guys to be there with me on this adventure, because guys, we are only moving forward. The sky's the limit. Not even the sky. Other universes, other dimensions. We are moving forward in a way that was never possible before, but now we're realizing our true selves, and that is what makes all the difference.
Good things are coming. Good things.
But that's all I really wanted to say, друзья. Спасибо большое за просмотр, и так, I will see you in the next video. Agape, Salaam, Namaste. Khatep. Что происходит, друзья? Снова добро пожаловать на этот канал. Ну, это было слишком давно, да? Но многое случилось. Хорошо? Поехали!